So I'm doing this video because I've been informed that a more tutorial-esque video explaining how I do basic things might be of interest. In this video, I'm going to go through and explain my everyday basic makeup routine and what products I use and how I use them, etc. When I started this, I thought I would only do the fast-forwarded type of videos. I guess I just figured that nobody would want to know about my very humble process. I usually don't spend more than $10 at a time when I shop, and I'm sitting on the floor right now. So very humble, and most of this stuff I just kind of taught myself or have improved on my previous self-taught skills from watching other people, so it's nothing that special, but it might be interesting. I don't know. If this is interesting or useful, let me know, because I wasn't planning on ever doing anything like this again, at least not in the near future. Also, I have allergies right now, and I'm going to try really, really hard not to sniffle. I just did it. Oh my god, no. Okay, so starting out, I always wash my face, or sometimes I don't wash it because if I wash it too often, it gets crazy oily. I have super oily skin. So I start out with either washing or rinsing my face with hot water, and then I put on my face lotion. It has SPF in it, and that's the first thing I do. And I wait like 5 minutes at least for it to soak in. And then I do also blot, so I use a primer, but I don't see the point in using that for a video. So when I do use primers, I usually use this one, this Maybelline one. It's nice. I think it works for me pretty well, so. And then I also use this Magical Beauty right here. It doesn't last that long on me, but it's pore filler, but it just smooths out your pores. Mine are really bad, like in here, and it does help. So after primer, obviously foundation. I could go on and on about this, but I have super yellow skin. Literally no drugstore foundation is yellow enough for me. The only thing that comes close is the L'Oreal True Match Warm, but even then it's more like, it ends up being more orangey and stuff, and it's not yellow. I'm yellow. So anyway, I went on this whole goose chase for yellow foundations at the drugstore, yellow enough for me, and it didn't work out. So what I use is expensive, and I'm using it. I'll use these today because it's my everyday and it's just one video, but I usually won't use them for videos because they're really expensive, and after I do my videos and take the pictures, I just wash it off. So don't want to waste these. They are gold, literally. When my face is oily, like it usually always is, I use Tarte Amazonian Clay. Right now I'm using light sand, but for this I'm going to use my Too Faced Born This Way foundation. It is a perfect like winter color because it's super light. This is ivory. I know most people say it's like a satin finish. This is straight up dewy on me. Like, I tried to wear this in the summer once, and it was literally like pouring off my face with oil. So I'm gonna use this today, and it won't be that bad because I won't have it on long and whatever. So to apply my foundation, I use just these cheap sponges. They work nice. They're super cheap, and that's why. So I will begin. I like to dab because it gives me the most natural looking finish, even if I wear a ton of foundation. If you compare this foundation shade compared to my neck, right, it matches, it's yellow. Any of my other videos you'll see that my face is always pink compared to my neck. For concealers, I usually use the Maybelline Fit Me ones because they're pretty much like unanimously considered one of the best, if not the best, concealers in the drugstore, and I love them. I've used them forever. Yeah, but they're also not light enough or yellow enough, that's for sure. So I'm using this right now, Wet n Wild Come Correct, whatever. It doesn't set as easily, it creases under my eyes. I think that's because it's so thick, honestly. But it's light enough and it's a lot yellower, so it's not bad. It just doesn't work perfectly for me. Right after I put on concealer under my eyes, I set it. Otherwise it creases. So for powder, I typically use this Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless powder for normal to oily skin. They call it translucent, but unless you put a thin layer, it is absolutely not translucent. I used this when I was Persephone at DragonCon, and I looked like Dracula. I was so pale. So, I mean, it worked, but if you pack it on like I have to, it's gonna lighten you a lot, which I guess is fine for your under eyes, but just know. A little teeny tiny dabble of this concealer goes a long way. It's already creased. It's already creased. I wasn't fast enough. Heavy dusting of powder, which will probably do almost nothing. On most days, for contouring, bronzer, and sometimes blush as well, or instead of blush, whatever, I just use this contouring powder, Wet n Wild. Most people say it's really good, and it is, except it is very orange on my dead, colorless skin. I need something way ashier, but I haven't bothered finding anything yet, and I do have some eyeshadows that I use for ashy contouring in my other videos, and those work fine. Whatever. This is easy to carry and doubles as bronzer on me, and most of the time I don't like wearing blush, so I just kind of, it works. Like I said, I don't know why, I'm just not really a blush fan. When I do wear it, I usually wear this Maybelline Fit Me blush in light mauve because it is barely noticeable, but it does like give a faint flush to my cheeks. And since my skin is so colorless, most everything just looks on me, even with the lightest tan. But this is just like a hint of pink. And since it's mauve, I think the more lavender-ish undertone complements my skin well, or whatever. It's nice. I really like it. If you're wanting to cut out steps, I know this is going to be blasphemy, but highlighter is something you don't need every day. I guess if you have like dry skin and you want a dewy look, that's fine. But I usually don't need highlighter because the oily sheen from my skin gives me a natural glow. So I usually use something very subtle, if I use any at all. For Black Friday, I got this little Ulta eye and face palette. There's no name or anything. I don't know what it's called. I like it. It's got nice colors, cool tones, which are my favorite. And this highlighter right here is kind of like very It's a super subtle highlight, just like white gold. I'm just gonna use that. I've been using this L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer the last couple of months, and it's nice, it's ashy, it's easy. I just make small hair-like strokes just to fill them in a little. Now, this brow gel was like $2. Essence Make Me Brow. It was changed my life. I tested this, first applied it on a naked brow, and then compared it to the other one that had nothing on it. Amazing. It makes them look so much fuller, nicer, darker. Except for eyes. This is my transition color that I use literally almost every time I do makeup. So for this, I just kind of go in. I don't go into my actual crease because I have hooded eyelids, so the crease is like right there, and that doesn't make sense. So I put this, I swipe it and swirl it into the hollow of my eye socket, which just kind of defines my eyelid area stuff. I also have very shallow facial bone structure, and this creates the illusion of depth. If I use shimmer right here, it would catch the light and actually make everything look flatter and more foldy. So if you have a problem with hooded eyes or like skin folds on your eyelids like I have them, this is helpful. This is the hollow of my eye socket, but I also go a little over and around it just to make it smoother. And I know a lot of people don't go this heavy into their eyebrow inner corner. I don't know, but like I said, it helps me define my bone structure better. I also usually use this shade to shade underneath my eyes. This is Revlon Color Stay eyeshadow palette in Moonlit. This dark brown color I've been using as a brow powder for years. It's like super ashy. But I also love to use it as my eyeshadow because, I don't know, I just love really colorless colors on my face, I guess. So I start on the outer corner to deepen that the most, and then I kind of blend it around, and then some up into the crease, very, very lightly. And I kind of just blend it all over the place. Woo. Then take the whatever brush used for blending, and I just very lightly make sure the edges are blended out. Trick time. If you're bad at blending out dark shadows, or you have to use patchy shadows, do the dark and then use a shimmery shadow to go over it on the lid. That'll blend it right in, or cover it. Shimmer can cover all manner of mistakes. This might look like a ton of eyeshadow, and most people don't have to drag it up all the way to their eyebrow, but I do. And you don't have to. It just works for me. Just get a little bit of highlight. Also from this palette, it's the white one, eyeliner. So I did one side's eyeliner off camera. I'm going to zoom you in so you can see the difference. If you're using a pencil liner and it's not sharp enough, just keep very light on the outer wing, and you can always like use your fingernail and just like drag the bottom to clean it up and kind of sharpen the point. Mascara, I've been using this my whole life since I started using makeup. Now, something that I forget to do a lot, I have to, yet again with the powder right here, just pack it down. So that inevitably when my mascara starts to melt onto my oily face, it won't deposit little black marks on my eye skin. It usually does anyway, but if I pack the powder on, I get a couple more hours before it does that instead of 30 minutes. So my lips they've been a journey. The process is kind of involved because I have, well, they're asymmetrical for one. For two, I have a line of teeny tiny freckles all down the edges of my top lips. If I don't even that out, it makes my lipstick look all wobbly and ugly. So I always use lip liner. So I line them, I kind of blot them around with my finger just to even them out. Oh, this stuff. This liquidy Blistex ointment. I've used this every single day and every single night of my life for like 3 years, and I just don't get chapped lips anymore. Your lips could be cracked like the desert floor, you know what I mean? If you slather this on them and then go to sleep, baby butt smooth in the morning. It's magic. I don't know why nobody else talks about this. It's not like a beauty product. It's in the health section of the store usually, but dude, it's amazing. I will never ever use anything other than this because this is all you need. All you need. So then I add my lipstick on top. Dude, Maybelline lipsticks are amazing. This is their Color Sensational lipstick in Nude Lust. And I have to put more powder on. What a surprise. What a surprise. And that's it. I know it took a while to do, but even though this isn't like super awesome or very dramatic or bold or whatever. It makes a big difference, as you can see. I hope this was enjoyable in some way. I also want to say that even though going through this I pointed out flaws with my face or my skin or whatever, you don't have to look at them that way. And I mean, if you want to use makeup to alter your own personal, what you see are as flaws, that's fine. But at the end of the day, we all have faces and spots and quirks, and that's good. And I know when I started watching makeup videos, I had this weird resurgence of insecurity, and I realized it's because all of these clearly beautiful people were going on and on and on about this flaw, that flaw, what they wanted to change about themselves. And you really shouldn't take what other people see as flaws to heart, because if you're doing what makes you feel good, other people are going to see your confidence or your happy spirit coming through. And honestly, most people aren't even going to notice the things that you notice about yourself anyway. So, okay, bye.